I think it's rolling. Good morning.
Good morning.
Why is it so tiny? There we go. That's much better. So, hey, I'm Marcus Walker. This is David McCallum. I always
Good
struggle
morning.
with your last name. I just call him David Mack. How about that?
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Awesome. So, just wanted to bring some numbers, crunch some numbers of what things look like in buying a house. So, of course, I brought in somebody that's literally his job. I'm like a connector person, so I have clients and connect them with houses that they like, but the number cruncher is going to be in the mortgage business. So, interest rates have ticked up a little bit, but they're still historically very low. But I have two homes on the market currently that, in my mind, would be awesome for a first time home buyer, maybe someone that's been renting for a very, either a long time or a short time, doesn't really matter. Someone that's been renting and wants to get into a home of their own that will build equity over time instead of, everybody knows if you rent, what do you have to go for it?
That's right.
At the end of the day and you move out, you got nothing versus building equity, long term wealth, and a piece of property. So, wanted to talk about a couple of those homes and then break down on numbers of what that might look like for you. So
Thank you.
let's go for it.
So, if you're renting right now and you're spending, $1,100 to $1,300 on rent, like Marcus said, every single month that could be going to building equity in your own personal home. There's so many great programs right now, and interest rates are so low that it makes sense to invest in yourself and invest in your future. Just for an example, if you have a $245,000 house, there's a great 3% conventional program right now that allows you to purchase. The rates are typically a little bit lower than traditional conventional rates. They also actually have lower mortgage insurance as well to help you with that payment. So for a 3% down on a $245,000 house, your mortgage payment itself without your taxes and insurance is generally going to be under $1,000. That's just 3%. So, that's when you're looking at that total cash to close and that it's not that bad. It's lower than the traditional FHA, and the payment's lower than FHA also because the mortgage insurance is so much less.
So I kind of numbers are not my strong point as much as I deal with them, and but again, that's why I've got people like David around. But wanted to just point out what I heard from what you just said.
Absolutely.
Kind of translate it. You said that ultimately you can own a home for less than your rent is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's kind of like
They
the meat and potatoes of what just came out of his mouth.
And and a $245,000 home in Baldwin County or Mobile County, that's a substantial property too. And if you think about it, if you're renting, a 900 square foot apartment for the same price for $1,200 a month versus getting into a home even like a 2,300 square foot home, like I helped open for Marcus this weekend, and sat in it, you could actually get that home for less than what we were talking about for this.
And that one had a pool.
Yeah.
Which of course is maintenance and upkeep, but everything has maintenance and upkeep. And but recently, my parents were looking at rental property for someone, and they were blown away. They were like, "Why would anyone?" They had no idea. They've owned a home for 30 plus years, and they were like, "This makes 0 sense. Why would someone pay $1,500 a month for this, and you can get it and own it for less than that?"
Yeah, absolutely. And it comes down to there's an option for everybody. If you have student loan debt, this 3% down option is a great loan for you because it actually counts it for less than a typical loan would if your loans are deferred, like most people's are right now because of COVID and that. So, the ability you're not only going to be able to purchase a home, you're going to be able to purchase more home for the same price that you would have been able to 6 months ago. So the time is right, with rates and how everything's aligning right now with this.
So to wrap up, I wanted to bring attention to anybody that maybe is in the process of buying property. There are two tropical systems heading our way, and a lot of people don't realize that that affects the mortgage. Well, it affects the home buying process. So if you are in the process of buying a home, before those systems get into the Gulf of Mexico, talk to your lender. So also want to talk to David about that and what that looks like and take care of our people.
That's right. It was a busy day yesterday with the storms that we have coming in. So any deals that you're looking at, especially if you're looking at closing next week, make sure that your lender has set up with the insurance company and that policy is bound. Because once that storm does get into the Gulf, most insurance companies are not going to do it.
Yeah,
so
that's a no.
Yeah, I mean that's something to keep in mind. It's just one more duck to get in a row to make sure that there's no surprises to delay a closing for you.
Well, that's a big deal. That's your life, where we're going to live in the middle of a tropical storm or a hurricane,
That's right.
And now we're displaced. So if you're, regardless if it's with me or with anybody, if you're in the middle of buying a house, that's just, don't want you to be stuck in that situation. So talk to your people. So quick recap, buy a house. Money is cheap. Interest rates are crazy low, and you can buy a home and have your monthly mortgage be less than what you could be paying in rent.
That's right. Lots of different programs. If this program doesn't work for you, you need down payment assistance. That's available too. You can do 100% financing on a home like this also. So
yeah, and everybody thinks that 20%. Just jog my. I try to say this as often as I get on Facebook. 20% down. That's a lie.
That's right.
You do not need 20% down to buy a house.
That's right. The rates right now, rates are so low, even on down payment assistance loans. There's not a lot of hoops to jump through anymore for these types of programs. You're looking at great rates, really competitive with what's going on in the market, and you're looking at not having to come up front with that 3.5%. So it's a great option. Money is cheap right now, like you said.
Right. Anytime interest rates are really low, that means money's cheap. So 100% options for financing. You've got USDA, which is geographically restricted. Most of Daphne and Fairhope do not comply for that, with the exception of Jubilee Farms. So if you're interested in new construction, you can get a USDA in Jubilee Farms in Daphne. But other than that, you've got other loan programs. Like David was just saying, it's not a one-size-fits-all with the loan product and with the home buying process. It's tailor-made to you and your needs and your situation, and then you fall into a category rather than a category. It's like I messed that up. So it's what am I trying to say? Wherever you are, there's something for you.
That's right.
Instead of trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, it's wherever you are, there's a program that can accommodate.
Absolutely. And wherever you are and whatever your situation is. Because there's different programs that work. Just because you have a little bit of credit card debt doesn't mean you can't buy a house. Just because you have a high car loan doesn't mean you can't buy a house. There are ways, that we can look at things and find and tailor-make, and figure out what program is going to really fit for you all around.
Awesome. So recap real quick again. There are awesome homes available on the market that you can own and have your mortgage be less than your rent. I know I've said that 3 or 4 times now, but it just blows my... Anyway. Hey, Chase, good morning. He's probably downstairs. Cool, guys. And yeah, keep your eyes on the Gulf of Mexico. Hopefully that does not turn into anything crazy or scary, but if it does, hopefully you've got a real estate professional and mortgage broker that's going to take care of you if that's where you are.
That's right.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks, sir.
Yay. Have a great day. Happy Friday. It's Friday.